All right, let's talk about Bubba Wallace, who, in my opinion, gets cooler every day. So I have a very positive opinion about Bubba Wallace, only limited to the few things I know about him. So I don't like to endorse anybody's complete anything, because God knows what he'll be, what else he's ever done in his life. Who knows if I like that or not? But we know he's a very successful athlete. We know he's very charismatic. And we know that he was fooled, essentially, because somebody very credible told him this noose was hanging there, and he believed it. Believing people who are credible is not really a big mistake. It was a big impact, but as mistakes go, I mean, that's such a small mistake, I'm not even sure you'd call it a mistake, really. But here's his statement, and I told you before he issued his statement about this, I told you what form it should take to be perfect, and I think he hit it. So his actual statement is about as perfect as you can play this, and it's almost identical to what I said should be the form. Now, I don't think that anybody listened to me, and therefore that's why they did it. This is a fairly standard thing that a good PR agency would guide you to this, but it's especially well done. So here's the statement, and let me tell you what's good about it. So he starts off by saying, it's been an emotional few days. Now, so first of all, he's pacing you, because it was sort of an emotional few days. You've been feeling it, right? When you heard it, maybe you got a little emotional. So he's pacing you. Yeah, he's emotional, you're emotional. Good form. So he's pacing the audience. Then he says, first off, all right? He says first off, so he's signaling, here's the important part. I want to say how relieved I am that the investigation revealed that this wasn't what we feared it was. He wrote, I want to thank my team, NASCAR, and the FBI for acting swiftly and treating this as a real threat. So see what he did? He emphasized that the important thing is how people responded, because it was so well-intentioned and really perfect. I'd have to compliment NASCAR. So even though NASCAR, you could say made a mistake, and you'd be right, because it's obviously a mistake, but they kind of still came out looking pretty good. Meaning that NASCAR, I thought, presented themselves to the world in a very positive way by backing one of their people. Now, you could argue that they're being politically correct, etc., but it didn't really play that way. It played more like sincere people who actually care about this, and they care about their teammates, they care about their sport, and actually felt what they did. So I think it was all sincere. All right, so then he goes on, and here's the magic part of this. Wallace says, I think we'll gladly take a little embarrassment. See how he framed it? He framed his role in it perfectly. Perfectly. He did not say, basically, he's just saying, here's how to frame me. Frame me as, silly, basically. He said, I think we'll gladly take a little embarrassment over what the alternatives could have been. Ah, that's so good. That's so good. Because he frames it as these two choices, a little embarrassment, or it could have been this bad thing. Now, there is a third choice, right? A third choice is he made some kind of a boneheaded mistake. But the way he framed it was a little embarrassment. That's really good. Really good communication, really good persuasion. Whoever advised him, and this is obviously the work of professionals, that as smart as Wallace appears to be, because he looks like a smart guy just based on his interviews, he can't come up with this, all right? This is not something that an athlete comes up with, unless they really had some background in this. This is professional work, and it's done well. And then he says, make no mistake, though some will try, This should not detract from the show of unity we had on Monday and the progress we've made as a sport to be more welcoming environment for all. Yes, perfectly done. Congratulations to Bubba Wallace. My guess is that despite this, I think that his reputation and brand will come out ahead just because of the way he handled it. All right.